girlfriend. Welcome to week 4 of Sales Tips with Lindsay. If you've been watching this series, then you know that I have challenged myself to deliver a sales training video every single week that will just be short and sweet, but hopefully help you build your arsenal of sales tips, tricks, techniques, tactics, strategies, solutions, anything that you can put into your toolbox so that when you are in your next sales interaction and you have the opportunity to pitch yourself, you're dialed in. So here we go, week 4, we're talking about that ABC mentality. And if you haven't heard of it yet, it's the always be closing mentality. Sales can be a roller coaster of highs and lows, and the way to kind of smooth out those highs and lows is consistency. I know I talked about consistency last week, but it's such an integral part of maintaining a high closing ratio, keeping your sales funnel full, and ensuring that you are always closing new deals. Because yes, it can be easy to get comfortable sometimes. Sometimes when you've been in sales for a while and you've maybe built up a healthy book of residual income, you get comfortable and you start to get a little lazy and things start to slip through the cracks. And trust me, I've been guilty of it, but that's why I'm pointing that out here for you today, so that you can hopefully be a little more self-aware and remind yourself that in order to grow, you need to ABC and always be closing. So one of the best ways that I track my progress as to whether or not I'm always closing is to use a sales journal or a CRM of some sort, a customer relationship management system. This is where I will enter any potential leads, any conversations that I've had, what the probability of that connection is of moving on to the next stage in the sales cycle. I talked about the sales cycle in episode 1 of this cool series I'm doing now. But keeping track of my interactions with people is how I ensure that I always have somebody to talk to. I always have somebody in my sales funnel that I can be moving on to the next stage of the sales cycle. And it's really important to keep track of these interactions because it can be so easy to forget things. One of the biggest lies I tell myself is that I don't need to write that down. I'll remember it later. Are you guilty of that too, girlfriend? It's okay if you are, because all you need to do is find the right system to keep track that works for you. I don't think there's any real right way or wrong way. It depends on how you like to view data, how things stick in your brain. Maybe you're somebody who needs to handwrite things out, in which case a sales journal is awesome. I used to love sitting down at the end of the day and writing out all of my client interactions, and I'd highlight them with what level of potential they might portray to me as being a good client moving forward. And it held me accountable, because if I wasn't closing new sales, all I had to do was look back on my sales journal and see if I was actually doing the activities required to close those sales. And it's right there in black and white. Sales is a numbers game. I promise you that it all comes down to the numbers and the amount of people that you're exposing yourself to, that you're talking to, that you're connecting with. If you want to close more sales, you have to connect with more people. And keeping track is how you ensure that you are always closing, because the numbers don't lie. And if you're not doing the activities required to close the amount of deals that you need, then it's right there. You got to shift your approach, and you need to adopt that ABC mentality that sees that you're putting yourself out there so that you can always be closing. I also highly recommend attending at least one networking event per month. I don't know if anybody knows this about me, but I don't love the idea of selling in the DMs. I don't love the idea of, having these sales relationships that are not face-to-face. I prefer to be able to really connect with people. And even though I have an online training platform, this is just my way of being able to serve one to many. But I can tell you without a doubt that when I attend a minimum of one networking event per month, I see my closing ratio go way up because I'm out. I'm out and about. I'm talking to people. I'm building relationships. I'm building rapport. I'm building awareness. I'm sharing my message and introducing what I have to offer to so many more people on a consistent basis. So if you want to ABC this year in 2024, girlfriend, you got to start adopting that mentality of always be closing. What's it going to take for you to always be closing? What daily, weekly, monthly activities do you need to schedule into your calendar so that you're always closing and you never have to wonder where that next sale is coming from, because you've already got it in the sales cycle. You've already got them on the hook and you're just reeling them in. So I love this mentality. It has kept me so motivated throughout the years. I love chatting with other sales professionals and asking them if they're always closing and how that's going for them, because I think that there's such an excitement in being able to say that we earned a new client, we closed a new deal, we created a new relationship that was mutually beneficial, and now everybody has something cool to be excited about. So I love it. Always be closing, girlfriend. I hope that you are closing like a boss. Make sure that you always follow up with potential leads. Keep track, stay consistent, and as always, you got this.